In this video right here, I want to share with you some pretty terrible mistakes that I made when I was trying to grow these tomatoes right here. And just to let you know, do not make these mistakes that I made when I was trying to grow my tomatoes. For me to get to this right here, let me tell you a little story about what I did not do to cause this to happen. Let me begin. Now, tomato seeds have a tendency to grow pretty fast, and mine did. Well, I have to use the heat mat, and I turned the temperature up to about 80 degrees beneath these little seedlings right here. It was nice, warm, and cozy, and these seedlings, they loved it. And guess what happened? They came up. The first time I saw them come up, they were just little, just barely peeking above the little soil. And then about a day later, I checked again, they were about this long. But this right here is where things went wrong. Literally. I mean, they were pretty much halfway up the cup. Now, how in the world did that happen? First things first, this right here, what I'm pointing at is my grow light. This is an LED grow light. The light was up to here. That right there was mistake number one. I had the light way too far away from my seedlings. One thing about tomato seedlings is that when they come up, the first thing they're going to want, they want that light. They want that photosynthesis. They want that photosynthetically active radiation. And yes, visible sunlight is radiation. Our eyes are radiation sensors. We can see radiation. Well, the radiation that we see is in the form of visible light. That is the biggest issue when it comes to growing seedlings. You got to have your light close to your plants. You do not want them a foot away from your plants, because if you do, you're going to run into the same situation that I ran into, where the seedlings themselves are pretty much about peeking right above this cup right here, which in order for me to fix this problem, I had to add potting mix into the cup to be able to cover around the main stems of my seedlings. Now, here's the beautiful thing about tomatoes, and this is what makes tomatoes so forgiving. Tomatoes have the ability to grow roots out of the main stem. These are what are called adventitious roots. And one of the biggest advantages about this right here is if you have adventitious roots besides the main taproot coming out of the bottom of the plant itself, the adventitious roots grow out from the main stem of the plant, and it allows the plant to take up a lot more nutrients, a lot more water, thereby giving you a plant that would be bigger, more disease resistant, more pest resistant, and it will also have a higher yield of fruit. That right there is one of the great advantages about growing tomatoes, and that's one of the reasons why I love growing tomatoes. These right here are very awesome plants. But the main thing what I'm trying to tell you is this. When you are growing your seedlings, make sure that they get plenty of light. That is the numero uno. They need light. If they're too far away from the plant, they're going to stretch and they're going to become long and leggy. If you keep them close enough to the plant itself, maybe a couple of inches or so, but if the light is really bright like this type right here, you want to keep it at least 6 inches away from the plant itself, because you don't want to bleach the roots. Because tomato plants can only take up so much light. If you can get it as bright as you can and as close as you can to that plant, the better. They're going to stay short, they're going to stay stocky, and that right there in itself is going to help you to have a very robust plant. I hope this video helps you out in understanding why it is vitally important to have light as close to your plant as possible. Please do not make the mistake that I made here. I've been growing tomatoes for over 10 years plus, and I still make mistakes, just like you see what I've done here. I'm John Jr. This is the Emerald Thumb. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Bye-bye.